You have to stay hyper focused on that goal because there's so many distractions and things that come along that try to get you off course. What's up, everybody? How's it going? I'm Rob here. I'm at the City Fam office. Anyway, had a birthday last weekend. I actually had the Truth About Sex Summit and my birthday party on the same day. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'm gonna edit some footage in right now.
My parents got divorced when I was very young. And when that happened, it really just, it devastated me and my family. And it was just really hard on me. And I love both of my parents very much. And I know they love us very much, but it was just something that they decided, to get divorced. And at that time, I realized that there's two routes that I can go. I can either allow this divorce to lead me to destruction, to alcohol, sex, dating whoever I wanted, or I can use it and just say, you know what, I don't want to be part of a negative statistic on divorced kids. In church, we always hear, don't have sex, wait for God's best. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Don't have sex because God said so. Awesome. And at that moment, that was enough for me. Because God said so was enough for me. But as I got older, I started, getting curious and wondering why, what is the reason behind that?
Marriage enables you to evaluate your real feelings. To not have sex before marriage sounds extreme. It sounds very extreme. I get it. It would have sounded crazy to me years ago. I would have been like, who does that? That's 100 years ago, right? It's so old fashioned. Okay. But this is what I tell people. Look, if I was to say to you, how about no sex before love? Does that sound reasonable? Most people go, yeah, I can get my mind around that. Okay, great. Let's go with that. How do you know if you're in love? Because what the Bible says, the heart's deceitful above all things. So your heart will trick you into believing something that's not true in order for you to give your flesh what it wants. So imagine I was dating Crystal. Okay. She's a virgin. Imagine we're dating. I said, I love you, Crystal. I'm in love with you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Let's have sex. She says, well, I'm in love with you too, Rob. Let's just run to the justice of the peace real quick. Get married. I'd be like, damn, let me think about that a little longer, right? That's the point. That's what marriage is for, because it forces you to evaluate your heart to see if it's telling you the truth before you get into something complicated. Because think about how that would play out if I wasn't in love with Crystal. Okay, number one, I'm going to take her virginity from her, and then I'm going to leave her broken. Or we're going to sleep together and I wasn't really in love. And now we're going to drift into a relationship, but I wasn't really in love. And I'm going to start feeling obligated to her, indebted to her. I took her virginity. So now I'm not going to easily break up with her. I'm going to feel like, oh, I owe it to her. I got to wife her now. And now I'm caught in the sex trap. And now that's how people end up unhappily married or divorced. There's a reason why the divorce rate's 50% in the United States. 97% of the people in this country do not wait to have sex. They have premarital sex, and they did not ask themselves the hard questions up front.
Now
awesome. It was at Power Plant Live. There was probably about 50 people there, and I had an old friend, Ahmad the Thrill Ibrahim, did the master of ceremonies. He did the festivities, and so we had some like COVID adapted karaoke. It was awesome. Earlier that day, we did the Truth About Sex Summit. We had probably close to 100 people watching it at any given time. We've had probably a couple thousand streams or views on the live stream since then. So it was just overall, it was a very successful day, /night. I want to thank anybody that came to my party. If you attended, thank you for coming out. I think everybody had a blast. Thank you to everyone that gave to my birthday fundraiser. I raised over $3,100 for CityFam. Last year, I really thought I killed it. I raised $2,222. And this year, I raised $3,170. So like about a 30% increase over last year. So it was amazing. So thank you to all my friends and just anyone out there that donated to CityFam. Your birthday is a pretty good indicator of how many friends you have. Not as good an indicator as moving day, to be honest, because when the day you move, that's when you really find out how many friends you got. But, I referenced 10 years earlier, I had a birthday party, and this is after I'd been, promoting, and I was backslidden, and I had a birthday party, and I think it was about 5 people showed up. It really wasn't many people at all. And it wasn't even like the people that I thought were my good friends, they didn't even come. And I remember feeling a little sorry for myself. But it was my fault, to be honest. It was from the way that I was living that I've been living for myself. I wasn't really sacrificing for anybody. So having a bunch of my real friends get together for my birthday party, and then people even contribute to the nonprofit that I started, is a pretty good indicator of just where I'm at in my life. And I made a post that I'm like, if you want favor with people, get obedient to God. Because if you want better relationships with people, you work on your relationship with God, and you will get closer to people. It's just like it happens. And the better your relationships with people, the richer your life becomes, because life is all about relationships. Life is all about having things to do, people to do them with, but things of substance, not just like, surface level shit. So, it was great. I think Crystal Cruz is actually watching right now. She came up from Dallas, Texas with her dad, Chris Cruz, and we just had a great time. And she was actually my co-host for The Truth About Sex. So it was an awesome weekend. But if you get a chance, go back and watch the full Truth About Sex stream. And if you have a faith community, if you go to church, share it with your youth pastor or even your pastor, your outreach director. Crystal and I are currently working on a speaking tour where we're going to go out. We're going to speak in churches and schools. But we also have a method. It's called the GO method that we're going to be implementing, where we're going to really kind of teach the church how to fulfill the Great Commission. Basically do what Jesus told them to do, which is go out and be fishers of men. Go to the places where the sinners are and reach them. Don't wait for them to come to you. Don't invite them to your building. Go to them, right? Go. So that's why we call it the GO method. So if you want more information about that, you can drop me a message. You can drop me a DM. You can email me at rob@robbkowalski.com, and I will make sure to get back with you with some more information. So yeah, that's something that we're working on. But I was thinking about the other day, and I was like, the last 20 years of my life have really been dedicated to this thing, where first thing I had to do, God put me in a set of circumstances where I had to experience the problem, realize that even the problem existed. And then I had to come up with a solution to the problem, which was years later. And then I had to see all the ways the solution broke down, all the holes in the solution, and then come up with ways to fix those holes. So it's taken me like 20 years to get to this point where I feel like I see the problem really clearly. I believe that we've developed a solution to a very large problem. And now it's just a matter of, executing and building it out and taking it as far and wide as possible. And, like making sure that we run a race and we don't trip, like the word says, basically run the race marked out for you, kind of avoiding the sin that so easily entangles. I know I didn't quote that right, but that's basically what it says. And, you have to stay vigilant. You have to stay hyper-focused on that goal, because there's so many distractions and things that come along that try to get you off course. I actually was just on a podcast with Ryan Stewman. You can go back and watch it, where he talked about this thing called the force of average, and how when you try to break past average, get into like a higher level, there's this invisible thing that holds you down. And I've experienced it myself, whether it's just, there's a million things I could probably name with the force of average, but specifically when I was writing my book, I noticed that it was like this invisible thing trying to distractions, procrastination, even my own self. I knew it was the thing that I needed to do, and there was something preventing me from doing it. It was the weirdest thing. It was like an invisible force. I talked to people about it, and it wasn't until I heard Ryan Stewman explain it that he talked about this thing called the force of average. And for some people, it's like, you're living this great life, and then your wife leaves you, or you get locked up, or whatever. It was, for him, it was all these different things that hold you down. It tries to push you back down to average. And, for me, recently, I'm working on this book funnel. And this book funnel, I believe, is going to be a game changer, not only for me, but I believe it's going to be a game changer for the organization, for CityFam. Because, Why Waiting Works really lands on CityFam. It really is like, look, this is the right way to go. And if you're going to do it, you're going to need a community of people. By the way, here's this thing called CityFam. So I believe it's going to be a game changer for CityFam. And I've worked really, really hard to get the funnel together. I'm talking over a year's worth of work of literally just, writing copy, shooting videos, coming up with offers that people want to buy, developing a course. I developed a course specifically for the funnel. So I've had to do all these things. I get right to the finish line, and then Facebook rejects all the ads. And I'm like, damn. So then I had to shoot a bunch of more videos because the images were being rejected. And then the ads go through, but then the ads get rejected. And then my funnel guy quits out of the blue, says, I want to do something different with my life. And it's like, as soon as you hit the target moves. It's like you think there's the finish line, and then it goes further out, and you're like, damn it. So I really related to what he was saying, and it's like, man, it's hard not to get discouraged, to be honest, because you do all this work, you hit all the points on the checklist, and then something changes that's completely out of your control. Like Facebook rejects the ads, they won't advertise, they won't run any of your ads. It's like, damn it, but you got to stay persistent, and you just got to keep going, and that's where I'm at, just trying to figure it out. So hiring a new ad guy and trying to troubleshoot, who knows, maybe we'll run ads on Pinterest or YouTube. I don't know yet. We haven't really figured it out, but I'm working on it, and I'm hoping that we can get the book into people's hands before I'm too old to go out on a speaking tour, because I want to go out and talk about this stuff. But at some point, people aren't going to care that I'm the guy that's waiting. When you're 50 some years old, nobody cares that you're the guy that's waiting. It's like, big deal, old man. You probably can't have sex anyway. But, so I feel like my window is shrinking, and I really want to get out there, and I want to spread the message, because it's very important. So, I've been having these heart-to-hearts with God, where it's like, just want my circumstances to change, whether it's my finances so I can be in a relationship, or, I want CityFam and Why Waiting Works to work at a higher level. I don't want to spend 15 hours a day in the office every day. but to be honest, there's nothing else for me to do right now besides to work my way out of my circumstances. But I want these things to change. So like, I had these heart-to-hearts with God where I'll get into my quiet time in the morning and I'll just talk to him. And it's like, the funny thing is though, it's like, he's the one that put me in the circumstances. So I'm asking him to change my circumstances, but he's the one that put me here, And so it's tough. And I know if it wasn't for me trusting God, if it wasn't for me believing that he's good, believing that he has my best interest in mind, believing that there's things happening around me that I can't see, even things happening within me, within my character that I can't see, then I would just say, fuck it, excuse my language, but I would just quit. Because if I didn't trust him, why wouldn't I? Because I want to, be in a relationship. I want to have sex again. I posted something yesterday. I was like, I'm looking at the news and it looks like the end of the world is coming, I don't know when it's coming. It might be 50 more years, who knows? But it looks like it's rapidly approaching to me. And I'm like, damn, I'd like to have sex again before the world ends, so if it wasn't for me really trusting God's character, then I would just say, screw it, because I'm not all that thrilled about everything about my life right now. I know that things are happening and I can see fruit, but Jesus said that if anyone would come after me, he must deny himself, take up his cross daily and follow me. So there's a lot of denial, of things that I deny myself of in order to follow this path. I thought of another verse earlier where basically Jesus said, if anyone loves the world, then the love of the Father is not in him. You can't walk the narrow path and love the world. You just can't. Because think about it. You're living in a fallen world where most people are not walking the narrow path. They're not playing by the rules, right? So it's hard. It's difficult to live in a fallen world when you're walking that narrow path. You don't love it, I think it's impossible. Now, it doesn't mean there's not points in your life where you can enjoy life. I mean, there's definitely lots of moments in my life where I enjoy life and I enjoy the richness and I feel very fulfilled pretty much all the time. But you can't be walking that narrow path and love the world. You just can't, because there's a lot of evil in the world, and like when I was backslidden, when I was out there having sex and promoting, and I probably did love the world. I didn't feel fulfilled, and I felt the distance from God. But at that point I was conformed to the pattern of the world. Romans 12:2 says, do not be conformed to the pattern of this world. So when you're not conforming to the pattern, you don't love it. It's hard. And that's kind of where I've been. But in all honesty, life is getting better. I'm excited about, all the progress I'm seeing in City Fam. We have chapters popping up everywhere. The book, some developments that have happened there is, we've had the book translated into German. So now we're trying to figure out what to do in Germany. Thank you. Shout out to Anna that translated it. That's amazing. We have had some pastors reach out to Crystal and I about coming to speak at their church. So we're excited about that. I mean, I picture that in the next year, maybe 2, that I will be spending a lot of time on the road. And I'd really like to go in and do, talk to the youth and the singles about sex, get them into small groups, take them out, do something fun with them, and then really teach the church members how to come down the ladder and really go to where the people are that need the help. And I believe that's how God is going to use us. And it's just a matter of getting there, it's been a lot of work. But again, very purposeful. So I want to talk about something I'm launching called the Proverbs 31 Blueprint. So I'm going to launch a new course specifically for women called the Proverbs 31 Blueprint. And that basically is designed for single women to really know how to use their time off, their season of singleness, very intentionally to become that virtuous woman that you read about in Proverbs 31. I see the reason that I'm doing this course is because I see a lot of women that are so focused on being in a relationship that they neglect doing the work on themselves to be prepared for a relationship, to really be prepared for true love. And what I've said before is a real kingdom man, like a real guy that's going after God, he's looking for those traits right now. Okay, so if you're not doing that work on yourself, then he very well might not see you. You know, you might miss him, or he might miss you. So I want to teach women how they can take this time off and just use it to really make it the most productive season of their life, the most beneficial season of their life. And I think it's a great time to do that. If anybody's more interested in information about that, you can drop me a comment, just say me, or you can drop me a DM if you like, if you want to keep it discreet. But I'll get you some more information. I'm going to have a beta group that launches probably next month, and I'm very excited about it. So looking forward to putting that together. It's something I'm working on now. New Year's Eve, Charm City Countdown here in Baltimore got canceled, unfortunately, due to COVID. So we are actually doing something different with City Fam, which everyone can be a part of, this is going to be amazing. So we were going to originally have a big party in Baltimore. We were going to have a big party in Houston called H-Town Countdown. And with everything with COVID, we decided to instead do smaller parties. So we're encouraging everyone that is a part of City Fam, or even if you're not a part of City Fam yet and you want to be a part, you're welcome to do this too. But to have a small gathering in your house and call it a City Fam party. So think about, like, if you've ever seen Dick Clark's Rocking New Year's Eve, where he has all the different locations on a screen. It's going to be our version of that. So we're going to have each house party is going to be live on Zoom. Now, you're not going to be glued to the computer, but you're going to get like maybe a 5-minute window where you can come in and you can introduce yourself and say, hey, my name's Rob. I'm here in Baltimore. Here's everything that's going on here. This is Roy. This is, Amanda Phillips. And you'll be able to introduce people in your group. And then we'll do that all the way up until the ball drop. So we'll literally have all 4 time zones, people in all 4 time zones celebrating all the way up until midnight, the ball drop in their time zone. And this way, people from all over the world can tune in. It's going to obviously brand City Fam really well. A lot of people are going to hear about City Fam for the first time. And then if people are in places where they don't have even a house party, they can watch virtually and at least get a feeling of community, at least get the feel that they're part of it. So that's something that we're working on now. You can actually reach out to contact@cityfam.com. Send an email if you want more information about hosting a City Fam gathering at your home. It can literally just be 3 people. It doesn't have to be a big gathering. It could be small. I would say no more than 20, to be honest, because just to keep everything safe. But yeah, 3 to 20 people, you can have it at your house. We'll actually give you like step-by-step what you need to do for how to put it together, how to promote it, and we're making it very easy for anyone to be part of it. Last but not least, well, I don't know if it's last, actually, I might talk about more, but the retreat. Okay, so we were gonna do a cruise originally, and then we moved the cruise to Florida, to Destin, Florida, a retreat center. And honestly, with everything going on with just the way that Corona is spreading, we decided to play it safe, and we're going to do it all virtually. We're not even going to have a live meeting here in Baltimore. It'll all be virtually. And if you want more information about that, go to cityfam.com, click on the events tab at the top, and you can sign up to be part of the retreat. The retreat is basically designed to help you plan out your 2021. It's a goal-setting retreat. There'll be some fun also, but it's really for you to help you make that year the best year of your life. We're going to be doing a lot of coaching, high-performance coaching exercises. You're going to meet people from all over the world in City Fam, and it's going to be awesome. Actually, if you're a contributing member, what we're calling a tribe member now of City Fam, you'll get the retreat for free. You actually get to register for free. So you can either, I think it's $149, you can pay to be part of it, or you can just become a tribe member and you get it for free, along with lots of other benefits throughout the year. So you can go to cityfam.com, learn more information about that. If you haven't seen the new City Fam site, go check it out. It is amazing. I was on there today and I was just still like smiling ear to ear. Thank you, Jonathan George. I don't know if you're going to see this, but you did a fantastic job on our website. Look at my website too. He actually redesigned my website, robbkowalski.com. You know, you'll see everything that I'm about. You see my bio. You can see, you know, we really want to get out there and connect with the faith communities, because we feel like we're going to be able to add a lot of value to them, especially coming out of this quarantine, because so many people are going to be disconnected, you know, and we want to help people get connected to healthy community, and we recognize faith communities as being healthy communities, so we want to help them. So that's it. Y'all have a good week. Thank you, Crystal. It is really good. And Crystal may be writing Why Waiting Works for Women. We were talking about that today. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated on that. Go check her out if you're on TikTok, Crystal Cruz. She's actually going to be doing her version of My 10 Reasons on TikTok. And that's going to be exciting. I'm really excited because there's a lot of young people on TikTok and they don't know this stuff. So check her out, and yeah, that's it. I'll talk to y'all next week. See ya.